not only live, but we are also recording. So, yay, welcome to the Holiday Pros, where we are mastering the business of Christmas. My name's Lindsay, and this is my good friend Heather. And we're going to
Hi.
introduce ourselves today. So, Heather, kick it off. Tell us about you. Why are we here? What are we doing?
Why are we here? Well, apparently we're here because we found a passion in the Christmas industry, which I'll tell you, Lindsay, I never in my wildest dreams ever would have thought that you and me would be doing this.
Amen. I know it's crazy and fun at the same time.
Yeah, Christmas, has always been a part of my life. However, that's not how we met, or, that's not how we evolved until we started working together with Biz in a Box. And then it's just been this beautiful marriage. And just, as it's come to fruition, this is where we're at. So I'm really, really excited. This has been a long time coming,
I
for me
know.
and, for you too. But for us to do it together is actually more exciting for me. So,
It is. I'm
yeah.
excited. Well, and I was were thinking about this just the other day, back when we met. You were doing Girlfriends Galore, which is how I met you back in Arizona. And funny but true, I always wanted to. I was like the lurker, that weird social media lurker who's following you on social media, wishing that I could be part of your circle, but I never had the time. I was in the car business. I never had time to
Yeah.
actually attend any of the Girlfriends Galore meetups, but they always looked so fun. But we were
Yeah.
friends on social, and then I did that weird thing that social people do. It's not that weird, but it felt weird. We all feel nervous. But I texted you and I'm like, "Hey, can we meet up for coffee?" And
Yeah.
you were so gracious and we met up, and that's kind of where our friendship started. We obviously both are into horses. We both love the country, and here we are, like all these years later, we've just stayed in touch. What was it, like 2 years ago or more now, that you reached out about tech? What do you remember exactly when that
Well,
was?
yeah, it was 2 years ago for sure. I mean, but now we talk every day.
I know, I know. I think I talked to you more than my sisters. Don't tell
I
them though.
know, absolutely, for sure. I mean, at least 5 days a week, at least
Yes.
that we're talking. It might even be 7 days a week. I don't know, but it never gets boring. I'll tell you that much. So
Well, it's
I'm
definitely
so
part
I'm
of
so
building.
thankful for our friendship and that connection that we made so long ago. Girlfriends Galore was in 2010. So if
Okay.
that gives you any timeline, that's how long.
Yes.
Yep.
Dang. That's just saying something about me. I don't want to admit that.
Yeah, that's how long we've been friends.
No,
So
that's
yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. And then we helped you get your Christmas Design Institute funnels all set up, get your landing pages put together, help you launch your course into the digital space. And that was super exciting. That was actually the first time I learned what Christmas was all about. And I think even during that time, I remembered, like, not, I had like a double epiphany. Have you ever had that moment where you think you get it, but then later you get it again? I remember having that with you. You were like, "Yeah, so I'm a Christmas decorator and this is what I'm doing and I'm helping people." And of course, I'm trying to put this all into my brain because I'm going to write copy for your website. And this whole time I'm thinking like you just do this, all year round. Well, then one day it just dawned on me. You're like, "No, Lindsay, I make six figures in 6 weeks." I'm like, "Excuse me? Say that again?"
Yes. Yes, and I spend that money year round. I make it in a short period of time, but I do spend it year round.
Yeah. But it was just so fascinating to me. I'm like, "Hold up, let's talk about this." I think I invited you onto my podcast.
Mhm.
We had a whole conversation about that and it blew my mind. I never knew Christmas was such a powerful place to be, and what
Yeah.
a cool space. Like, just from the outsider looking in at your world and getting to know more about it over the last few years, it's been so intriguing for sure, but also honestly kind of a little envious in a way, because I'm like, that's a lot of hard work. I've seen you in your hard work. Let's be real, it's not a cakewalk at the
Right.
Christmas season. So I've seen the behind the scenes and the stress that can come with that pressure for
Yeah.
that, 6 weeks. But then you're off in, Disneyland, or you're riding your horse, or you're taking your daughter on his play day. And I'm always like, huh, there's just something about that I really admire. I've always like kind of thought maybe I'm in the wrong business, but
Well, for those 6 weeks, you definitely question what kind of business you're in. But yes, it
Mhm.
is true. I mean, for me, I've been so blessed to stay home with my daughter, and it is challenging during the season, but it's short-lived, and that's what makes it so beautiful. And you can make it is very lucrative. And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing this with others, because it is a viable business. And I think people are missing that. I think it's not very well known how much money you can truly make in this industry.
It's for sure. It's like the best kept secret. Most people don't want other people to know about. I think you're one of the first, aren't you the first person to launch it as a training course and to really put a full academy together?
Yes, actually, I'm still looking. So I always tell everybody, if you find another school or if you find any, tools or any resources, please let me know, because right now I feel like I'm pioneering this industry and I really have nobody to follow or, collaborate with, which is fine. I mean, I'm an expert in this field, but that's how it started is I was looking and looking, couldn't find it. So I created it myself.
Yeah. And you've done a really fair job at like phenomenal job at this whole thing. And like that's been the piece that I think is so exciting. You're not the first person I've interviewed who built an entire business, because even on my other podcast, you remind me of a lot of founders who were frustrated because they couldn't find the thing they needed to help their business be efficient. And then they just built it and then it became the thing, like it became its own thing, right? And that's what the Christmas Design
Yeah,
Institute
right.
is. I just think it's fantastic. Well, I'm excited to be a part of it. Just to kind of share a little bit about how we got into it beyond helping you set up the tech. My background is with call centers. I did that for 20 years, and making those outbound calls is a really important piece. So we launched Christmas Callers, which is a division of our company, just this year, and it's going great. And we're helping so many people land commercial jobs, which is we're going to get into. I mean, we got so much to talk about on this podcast, you guys. I know we're just unveiling, we're unboxing it right now, and I feel like Heather and I just have like so much to say, but I
Yeah,
don't want to overwhelm
that's
you.
true.
But just today, we just wanted to kind of like pull the band-aid off, show you what's going on, talk a little bit, introduce ourselves, tell you what we're doing. So I guess you could say now I am in the Christmas business, but I am not a decorator. So it'll be interesting because we have just different perspectives on things.
Yeah, we definitely have come together. Like I said, it was a beautiful marriage. And I just am so in awe about what you guys do on the tech side. And so I think that we can really help a lot of people, with this platform and coming together. So far it's been amazing. And just every day it unveils new, information and new ways to do things, which I didn't have. And so I feel I'm just so passionate about this because, gosh, if I would have had this 26 years ago is when I started, my business would be different. I would be making a lot of more money. It wouldn't probably be six figures in 6 weeks. It'd probably be seven, which is still viable, but that's a big deal. Like seven figures in 6 weeks, that's a push. So, I've expanded year round now, which is completely doable. And so I show people how to do that as well. But yeah, it's been really fun. I can't wait for all these episodes. Like I'm really excited about it.
Me too. And
Yeah,
and
just to
friends
share.
listening, I invite you to, for now, if you're following us on Facebook, drop some comments. What are some questions that are popping up? Because like, we can come up with content till the cows come home, um,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
specifically if there is something you want to know or you're curious about, by all means, share your thoughts and your comments because we're more than happy to build a whole episode around it. Of course, you can always book a demo with Heather to learn more about, or a consult call with Heather to learn more about the Christmas Design Institute if you're really ready to take that next step and really become an interior decorator for Christmas. And actually, that would be probably something I would think today would be a good time to talk about is, can you share a little bit more about exactly what the Christmas Design Institute teaches people so that they kind of get a gist of what we're talking about when we say launch your Christmas business?
Sure. So, Christmas Design Institute originally was born because I needed help scaling my own company. And I couldn't find any resources to draw people to put on my design team. And so it started out that way. Now it's blossomed into 10 certification programs. So we have developed two paths that you can take. So when you visit the website, you'll see you can either look into the business academy. That's everything to start your business and scale to 6, 7 figures. Or you can go the decorating route, which is a course and certification program if you just want to be a designer or you just want to be a decorator and you want to work for somebody. We have a designer for hire program. So it makes sense to be a part of one or the other or both. And so it just kind of depends. Do you want to be a business owner or do you just want to be a designer?
Hmm.
And then everything in between we teach.
Yeah. Yeah. And primarily, do you focus on interior, exterior, commercial? I mean, where is the scope just to kind of help people understand who's the right fit for that?
So I am a expert interior designer. So historically, I haven't done anything outside, but what I have discovered is that it's the perfect marriage. So if you're an exterior installer or you have that business, adding interior is really important. You are missing out on legitimately six figures. And so I also teach that through our business blueprint. And then also the designer for hire program. If you don't want to send your guys or your girls, that are working on the outside, sometimes that doesn't translate. And so I've partnered together with exterior companies to facilitate that process. So we do teach exterior in partnership with some other people, but my school specifically is interior.
Okay. That's great. And I think for the most part, what we're going to be talking about on the podcast is the business of Christmas. Really, when we say mastering the business of Christmas, that's kind of where I drop in with maybe some experience. My business experience is in a different capacity from automation, business management, streamlining systems. Obviously, that's kind of our forte at Biz in a Box Solutions, but also just having run service-based businesses before and being a part of it. So it's just really fun because I think there's just different nuances and there are specific things that designers do. The business of Christmas from an interior design perspective, especially in the luxury space, is very nuanced. And that's clearly Heather's specialty for sure. Um, so I'm excited. This is really going to be an interesting podcast. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to show up with a topic each week, but of course, a lot of just random conversation of experiences that have come up and things that are happening in our lives, as we're just both, here to serve, here to be present for you, the audience, and to help you make a decision and a difference in your own life, right? Because that's truly what we're both here to do.
Right. Yeah, it's absolutely my passion. I love teaching. I love helping people. I love developing businesses. I've developed and sold and bought businesses throughout my career. So, I've experienced pretty much in all of the realms of business building. But really, Lindsay, you were like the final piece coming in because I did a lot of this on my own and it wasn't structured properly and it was harder, right? It was just I didn't have the technology put in place. And so that's why I was so excited for us to bring this to the forefront. It's just going to catapult people into the next level faster. So that's what we teach.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely, I know I see that very often in the service industry. I kind of joke like most people are running their business with a cell phone and a notepad. And at first I thought that was a little like just a off the cuff cliche, funny thing to say, but then really, actually, that's very, very true for so many people. And which isn't, it's not to
Yeah.
say it's a bad thing. Like a lot of businesses can get very successful to that, but then you get to a point where it becomes a limiting factor. You can't scale beyond that factor because everything is centered around you, the business owner. And that's kind of where, we came in and help with like systemizing, automating, and letting things save you time. Like ultimately, that's where it really benefits is saving the business owner time. So very cool. All right. What did you want to add anything specific for today's first episode or kind of let the audience know of where we're headed?
Yeah. Well, just to kind of piggyback on what you just said. So that's what I've learned. And now that's what I teach. And so, like, dream work, okay, the saying is teamwork is the dream work, right? Where it was really hard for me to delegate and it was really hard for me to scale because you cannot do that by yourself. And so you're right. You can do it absolutely to a certain point, but after that, you can't. It's just not
Hmm.
possible, So, going through these episodes, that's exactly what we're going to run through, starting with whatever topic we decide for next week and then building upon that. And so it's, hiring and how do you scale? How do you bring the business of Christmas into your life and make, be successful? I've done it for 26 years. So, I have the expertise and I've also done it wrong. So I love to share that too, because why go down that path if you don't need to?
Hmm.
Just follow my path. I can tell you what not to do, how to be successful, time saver.
Yeah.
There's years of knowledge I can save, by going through the program.
It's so true. And I know for so many people, starting a business is a scary factor. Even if you're looking at, I mean, that's truly why I think there's so much success for people with, dare I say, MLMs. I just use that as a catch-all phrase. I have no judgment there at all. I think it's a fantastic model because it gives you that whole business structure. And that's the beauty of what you're offering in the Christmas Design Institute between the experience that you have plus the business tech already done for you piece that we're bringing to the table. This is truly creating a business that only requires you to show up. You literally need to show up, go through the program, do the work, and there's very little chances of failure here. That's what we're doing. We're holding your hand through this process. And that's the beauty of what we have to offer. So, for those of you listening, if you've ever even dreamed of having a business that allows you the freedom of expressing your creativity and making money at it, think about becoming a Christmas decorator and designer because it truly is the next, like, it's such a beautiful way, in my opinion. I know how many people who are creatives, like the creatives listening, you know who you are, right? They struggle with the business side of business. A lot of times they're very focused on visual things. It's just the way they are designed, right? And that's what we're saying here is like mastering the business of Christmas. You are putting yourself in a position to express your creative outlet in a way that brings in profitability and play. You can go play all year round and have fun because you made all your money at Christmas.
Yeah.
So I mean, what a perfect lifestyle, right?
Well, it is true because usually creators are not it like it you in this business you have to use both sides of your brain, right? Like there's times to be analytical, you got to get into the numbers, you got to build your business plan, things like that. So we've made it really easy where you can just be the creative if you want to. And you don't have to learn how to do that. We just tell you what to do. And so that to me, I've gone through my own blueprint and now my business is running better. I'm making tons more money because I'm implementing my own systems, a lot of things I've learned from you. But also with that being said, it to take away the fear, there's a collaboration here. So we've even been adding pieces in where you can connect with other designers. So I have founded the Professional Association of Holiday Designers, and that's where it's our collective, and that's where we can come together, share our struggles, share our secrets, share, all the things that we can learn from each other. But it's a group of people that share the same passion. And so I'm really excited to launch that as well.
Yeah, me too. Well, we know where we've come in the last decade. It's exciting to see where we'll be in the next. Like
Oh gosh, I
we're
can't even wait. I
yeah,
know.
today
Exciting
launches the
for
first
sure.
day. This is kind of
I
a
know
momentous
today,
thing.
today we've been talking about this podcast forever, and I'm like, okay, we got to next month, So,
Yeah.
yeah, I can't. It's just like so much emotion because I have so much to share, and I just didn't. I don't have that platform yet. So, in 10 years, it'll be really fun to look back and here's our
Yeah.
first episode.
I know. Yes. And you know what? Speaking about that, people might be wondering, like, why in the world we're talking about Christmas in April?
Then now's the time.
Now's the time.
Yeah,
You think about
yeah.
like if you want to have a business that's bringing some income in, even if your first year is just enough to pay for Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, let's face it, we don't want to get too dark and dirty, but like the economy is what it is right now. Everybody's looking for a way to make some extra money, especially at the holidays. This is a perfect opportunity because not only can it help you bridge that gap this year, it'll build on itself and build on itself to the point where who knows where it'll lead you. I mean, it might become your full-time gig as well. So this all starts now because it does take some time to learn. It does take some time to implement.
Mhm.
But nevertheless, when you get a head start, you're going to be head and shoulders above other people who might just think about this in October. So now's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
time.
Yeah, October is way too late. I mean, I'm already fully booked, and so I mean, of course, I have an established business, but one thing we really need to talk about is how recession proof and COVID proof this industry is. So
Oh, okay.
regardless of what's going on, I just wrote this module last night for the business academy. And so it dawned on me that I wasn't touching on that, but that's how I've stayed in business and made all this money, over 26 years. Every year has been better than the year before, even during COVID. And I talk about that in the academy. It doesn't matter what's going on in the economy. Luxury and rich people, they still stay rich. In fact, I've learned that rich people even get richer, during a down economy. And
Mhm.
those are the clients. So guess what? Your business always continues to grow. And so it doesn't matter what's going on in the economy. And the good news for you is everybody might be struggling, but you're not, because your business can, push through that. So I think we really need to hone in on that, because that's important, right? Like, this is almost a fail proof business. If you do the work, you will be successful. And I'm the proof of that.
I love it. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap up today, friends. We encourage you. We're going to get this podcast launched today, right now, in this exact moment. We're live on Facebook, but we're going to be airing on Apple, Spotify, all the podcasts by the end of the week. So moving forward, if you don't catch us live, that's okay. You can always catch the replay audio version and on YouTube. So you'll be able to catch more of the information at christmasdesigninstitute.com. That's where we'll have a link to the podcast as well.
Yeah, so this is the Holiday Pro podcast, Mastering the Business of Christmas.